Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Elisa, here doing another reading. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So when I did the split, I got the medicine wheel and I got the moon. This medicine wheel came out in the last reading that I did. I'm gonna link it here. And then the moon also came out, like I feel like it came out on the full moon reading, which I'll link up here. So that's pretty weird. So this might be like, this moon cycle might be this moment, you know, starting with the full moon, where some like huge healing crisis is happening. So yeah, I talked about in the last reading, and it was something about like moving forward through the chaos, you know, but with the medicine wheel, like this is like it's like a healing, you know, so it's just sort of like, you kind of do this assessment where you are facing your North Node, figuring out with clarity like how you want to move forward, and then sort of doing an assessment to figure out like what situations or people or things are not in alignment with that, so that you can sort of let those things go and like make the space for this movement. Yeah, so right underneath it we got this transformation, which was underneath it in the last reading. So yeah, this moon cycle, I think, is going to be like a big healing, cleansing moment. So I'm going to go to the sacred forest. Let's see what we get here. Okay, wow. So we got aspen spirit, courage, and we got raven spirit, truth. So that's really interesting. I mean, it's just sort of like really a moment to have courage to like stand in your truth, you know, which is like part of this healing, you know, like you need to stand in your truth and you know, have the courage to face that and move forward. So it's really kind of like a moment of truth, you know. But it's a defining moment. And it was interesting because like I feel like it was the reading for January that Raven Spirit, I'm gonna post the January reading here. The Raven Spirit came out because it was talking about having to sort of like stand your ground. You know, there's gonna be some sort of like resistance to whatever you're trying to do, and having to just kind of stand your ground. Okay, a bunch of stuff just flopped out, so like a lot of energy. So I guess we're gonna have like, wow. Okay, so these are the three. Okay, so we got seer, see beyond the current situation, and underneath that we have summer. So it's almost like having a vision forward, where like some of the stuff might come to fruition in the summer. It's kind of what I'm getting. And then we have druid, hold the space. So it's like you have this vision for like where you're trying to go, and you need to like hold that vision and hold the space for it, to give it the room to manifest. And then we have knight, be brave and honest. So that's so crazy because that's the same message that we got with the other deck, courage and truth. Which is the same, it's the same message. So that's like a double message. Be brave and honest. So it's like we need to like stand in your truth. You need to have courage. Like we're clearly going to be moving through some stuff that no longer serves. And it's almost like there's going to be like this tunnel of change that's going to happen between now and this summer. And like you need to really clarify like what you're trying to bring forward and hold the space for that. Because that's kind of how, you know, that's how you manifest things. So this is like a really powerful. So, okay, I'm doing this light and dark contrast, which I've been doing for the last several readings, which I'm kind of digging. So I'm going to start with a transient light tarot and see what we get. So this is kind of like the light. Oh my gosh. This totally just jumped out the wheel, and that was in the last reading that I did too. And I feel like actually it's come out a bunch. Okay, a bunch of stuff just freaking plopped out. This is like, it's too much to take, but okay. All right. So this is kind of like the light side, and then, you know, because there's like definitely a lot of shadow stuff coming up. So it's sort of like, this is like the light where you should, oh my gosh, focus your your positive energy, and then the shadow is like sort of like in the element where you need to learn something, improve. Okay, so we got the 10 of Vessels. Wow. So that's kind of like the 10 of Cups. Look at that. It's like happiness and abundance, you know? So it's like abundant and emotionally fulfilled. Like that's at the bottom of the deck. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We have Justice, which, you know, both of these came out in the last reading. And I feel like this next card has come up a bunch in at least 2 other readings, but though I don't remember exactly which ones. 4 of Coins. So what I'm getting is some karmic cycle is like shifting, and justice is coming in, and this is you're gonna kind of be moving forward, like starting to build a solid like stability. Like it's the beginning of this stability where you actually are starting to put coins away, and you know, you're moving towards this. So something's happening in this moon cycle, and I think, oh my gosh, yeah, like when I pulled this out of the deck, I'm like, something's happening in this moon cycle, and we got Revolution, which is like the tower card. So it's like there's some massive disruption that's happening. It's gonna make room for like healing. It's a really important time to have clarity about what you're trying to bring forward and hold the space for that, because it's kind of like this moment of opportunity where things are in flux. So it's like really important to be clear about how you want to move forward, and also to let go of what's not serving you and what's holding you back from achieving that. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one more card. This is so crazy. Okay. All right, wow. Okay, so at the bottom we have the Warrior of Wands. So this is like a bold move that's happening. We got the Three of Swords. So this is a card of heartbreak, but it's also a card of like something's out of alignment and needs to be changed, you know, which is kind of the whole North Node thing. It's like something's not right, and it might cause like a big disruption to bring this into alignment, and that might be painful, but it's interesting because it fell out right under the Wheel of Fortune. So there's some disruption that's happening that's gonna, whatever this thing that's out of alignment is, it's gonna break it up, you know, and it's gonna maybe be painful. But then we got Justice, and it fell right under the under the other Justice, which is really weird. Double Justice, like it's almost like maybe two situations are coming together and they're both being brought to justice at the same time, or maybe it's just like such a huge injustice that it's just like, it's not like your, you know, everyday karma, like this is big, like this is like life-changing, like bum 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 bum, like this is like exclamation point. And then we have the Eight of Wands, so something is changing fast, like there's just bold move that's happening. It's going to cause this disruption, it's going to cause justice, but it's actually going to set things on. And that was the reading for January. I think it was like a change in mindset. Maybe it was, yeah, it was like a change in mindset. It's going to get the train on the right track, and that's kind of what this is. This is like we're blowing up whatever it is that's not working, and that's what's going to help us get on the right track. But if you want to get on the right track, it's important, like you have to have clarity and vision for where you're trying to go, you know, like don't waste this moment. Like this is a really important moment. It's going to define a lot of things in the future, and so you don't want to waste it, you know. Okay, so we got Held, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Wow. So it's like there's this double justice coming in. So it's almost like this injustice is being righted. Whatever is like not in alignment, like it's being righted. And it's almost like a lot of people have seen what's been going on for a while. And so it's like you have the support of the community. Like, for example, like Ukraine, like people have seen the injustice happening in Ukraine for a long time. So they've got like the support of people all around the world, you know, because people see what's going on, and that's kind of what this speaks to. And then we have plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, grounded action. Wow, this came out in one of the other readings too, and I'm like, oh my god, because I'm like a plant-based cheese maker, and I'm like, ah. But yeah, it's like you really need to have clarity, because you're laying the foundation for this big future, you know. And so it's important to put your roots down in alignment with your truth, and to have courage to just put your truth out there and stand your ground against whatever is maybe trying to uproot it. Like this is like the rooting, you know. So it's really important to like be steadfast in this moment, because people are going to come in and they're going to try and, you know, pull it up, but it's like, no, like stand your ground, be in your truth, and like, and just be strong and have courage, you know. This reminds me, there's this whole thread actually about Cinderella, which I'm going to link here, or I might link it at the end, which has been like this ongoing thread. But like there's this Disney remake of Cinderella that I love. It was really good, and it had like gosh, what's her name? I can't remember. Who is the wicked stepmother, and she's like this great actress, but I can't remember I'm drawing a blank on her name. But anyways, there's this whole thing in the movie, like her mom passes away, and right before her mom passes away, you know, she gives her this advice for life, and she tells her, Cinderella, to be kind and have courage. And that was kind of her motto to live by, you know. And so that, it kind of reminds me of that. Like, it's like people might be trying to uproot it, you know, whatever you're doing, but just, you know, you don't have to be nasty, but, you know, be kind, but have the courage to stand in your truth. And that's kind of the thing with Cinderella. Like, she was just trying to live her life, you know, and all these people were trying to take her out. But like, part of the reason why she overcame everything is because she was kind. She didn't have bad karma. All these people had seen what had gone on and how she had this grace, and that's how she was able to overcome like all these obstacles and having like 3 against 1, you know, the stepmother, the stepsisters, you know, everyone, like they were just like trying to sabotage her all the time, you know. Be kind and have courage. So I'm gonna leave it on that note and check in soon with more updates.